Hey everybody, welcome to Detroit, Michigan. I'm here at the 2022 North American International Auto Show, and behind me is the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang. And in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about the 2024 Ford Mustang. But we're not only talking about the standard model. Deep there in the media scrum is a really special addition, a brand new name called the Dark Horse, and we're going to tell you everything you need to know. So let's start with the design of the 2024 Ford Mustang. Now, if you recall, the 6th generation came out a number of years ago and then was refreshed in 2018. Well, they're calling this an all-new generation. So it's much more angular than even the refresh that came out in 2018. You've got these very squinty headlights with these 3 LED pods, but you still have some iconic Ford cues, like the trapezoidal front grille that you'd see on like the original 65 Mustang. Now this is a GT, and you can quickly and immediately tell that via the hood extractor there on the top, the heat extractor on the top of the hood, excuse me. Now you can see 5.0 that this Mustang retains the Coyote 5-liter V8, now in its 4th generation. It's got a revised intake. It's called the 4th generation Coyote V8, but they haven't told us horsepower. All they're saying is 480 plus. The current model is currently sitting at right around 480. So we're not sure what the final horsepower number will be on the 5-liter. Now check that out, right? There's a couple different versions. You can get it with a performance package. This one, those giant red brake calipers poking through behind these really cool grayed off wheels. Now, a couple different configurations of Mustang, right? There's a coupe, there's a convertible. This one, obviously the convertible. And maybe we'll be able to try to squeeze past folks here. You give me the camera, Zach. I'm gonna try to get a quick shot of the interior, because that really is where a lot of the changes have been made. So if you can kind of poke your eyes through, it's got one giant continuous screen that connects the driver and the main infotainment screen. It's got a flat bottom steering wheel, it's got new buttons, it's got new controls, and it's got new colors. And hopefully, once this media scrum dies out a little bit, we'll get you a better look. So that is the GT convertible. And actually, this is a good opportunity to check out the rear end. So we now have a much more angled profile to the rear taillights. They're almost razor-like in the way they go nearly horizontal and then nearly vertical, beyond actually a 90-degree angle. It's very acute. I guess that would be less than a 90-degree angle. There's a lot going on here at the Mustang reveal. I'm doing the best I can. And then, of course, you got Ford GT badging down there and the quad exhaust tips, which you can see poking through right there. Now, as we come over to the coupe, a couple of things worth noting. This one obviously has a lot of the performance goodies on it. Now, you can get the Mustang with a variety of brake caliper options and colors. So this one has the Brembo brakes, but we see them in this bright blue against this new blue color, which I think looks pretty good. Now, they call it a blue. It's more of like a flat, almost Nardo gray. And then, of course, this one's got the big spoiler out rear, very angular, very almost nautical in the way it makes a fin. Looks really, really good. So still retains the 5-liter V8. I know there was a lot of talk about hybrid. There's a lot of talk about going fully electric, and that didn't pan out in this newest 7th generation of Mustang. It still has the Coyote. And if you kind of poke your head in there, it's locked, but check it out, right? You got these very aggressive flat bottom steering wheel, manual transmission, and these Recaro bucket seats, which look fantastic. This model's got the blacked out roof. All right, we're gonna keep going. This is a little bit of a workout, doing the best I can. There's about 900 people in about 30 square feet right now. So this is obviously a really big deal. I don't know if you can hear me at all, so we'll see what we can do. I thought those people were about to kiss, they didn't. And here we have the EcoBoost Mustang. So at the base end of the spectrum, Ford is still retaining the 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder model. Now, this one's got a couple of changes, such as the bronze accents for the wheels. It's a little hard to tell in this lighting, but it's got these new bronze accents as part of a package, which look pretty good. And of course, the 2.3 does not have the hood extractor, the heat extractor on the top side of the hood there. Now, as we come down the bottom, you'll notice the front end is entirely different on the 2.3 compared to the 5-liter, so much less aggressive. The inlets are smaller. The way that the bottom lip here kind of contours to the front end is completely different than what you'd find on the top dog 5-liter V8. And then, of course, this model has that bronze on the prancing horse there on the hood. I think it's a pretty attractive design. Now they were saying that dimensionally, it's pretty much identical to the current 6th generation, but the way they sculpted the rear hips, the way that this kind of flows from horizontal to this really crisp line, is supposed to give it a much wider, lower stance. They've lowered the belt line quite a bit compared to the current model as well, and they say it's much easier to get in and out of the cockpit while wearing a helmet. All right, I think the time has come. There's just no way in, but we'll see. Hey!
I'm Patrick. I'm with Mach-E Vlog.
Very cool.
But we're in Denver. So
yeah, thank you. It's nice meeting you. Excuse me. Sorry, we're going to try to make our way through here. Here's Zach. Even if I grab the camera, I think it's just going to be easier if I take over. So this is the new Mustang 5-liter Dark Horse, and what they've done is added some Shelby performance cues to the standard Mustang. So it's got a blacked out front end, it's got a very aggressive lower front splitter, and it's got the most powerful 5-liter Coyote V8 ever. They're targeting 500 horsepower. Lots of tweaks to the suspension, lots of differences there in the hood, right? You see it's got the matte black hood decal with the stripes along the side. It's got these kind of nostrils to the front, which look super aggressive, and overall, especially in this this new color, it's got a little bit of shine to it. It looks just amazing. Let's see if I can take a quick peek here at the interior. Not super sure we're allowed to be doing this, but we'll see. So they blacked out the windows. Little peek there at the new upholstery.
That's a peek.
Looks pretty good. And then they're immediately going to lock it again. Now here we go. They open up the door of the standard GT, and we get to see this new white Recaro finish on the seats, and contrasted against the black bolsters. It's a nice look. This one, of course, has the performance package. A couple of little Easter eggs too, like they give you the Mustang there in the windshield. They also give you some cool little details there in the back. Let's see if I can show that on the rear glass. This is absolutely nuts. Let's see. Yeah, so they give you all 7 generations in the rear glass of the Mustang, so you can see going back to 1964 and then making their way to the brand new one. All of them are ingrained in the new glass. Let's see if we can get a good look at that new infotainment system, the way it curves over to the driver's side. We got dual screens under one single pane of glass, and then that 6-speed manual transmission poking through. The new flat bottom steering wheel, a big improvement over the current one, I think. And has any of the craziness cleared out? Absolutely not at all. But I'll show you the rear spoiler on this new version. By the way, check out that new emblem. Black horse emblem. Looks fantastic. It's got new reinforcements. Very interesting design. So, wow. Let's kind of get out of the fray a little bit here. They call this the Stampede, by the way, with the 7. Ford has done a lot from a design standpoint, a lot from an interior standpoint with the new Mustang. Powertrain-wise, they say they're all new engines, a new 5-liter, a new 2.3, but they're not letting us in on exactly what they have done to really change the engine in a detailed fashion. Like we talked to the chief engineer, I know it's got new oiling system on the 5-liter, new intake, right, new dual air intake, but apart from that, it's still a little bit unclear exactly what the horsepower number is and exactly how they're achieving the horsepower through an all-new engine. It's also described as an all-new vehicle, but it certainly has a lot of cues from the current generation, which do kind of make you curious whether or not the platform has been designed from the ground up to be all new. Now, some other things worth noting: electronic parking brake as a drift brake. Let's see if we can see it in this red car. Maybe now is the chance. Hang on, we'll let them take their picture. And we'll scoot over here. And as you can see kind of there on the inside, there's a new electronic parking brake, which acts as a drift brake. Sorry about that. And when you pull that, it does allow you to kind of slide the car and drift the car around a little bit. I think we just ruined some people's pictures. Sophion, come here. So Sophion Bay from Red Light Reviews, what do you think of the new Mustang?
I really like the Dark Horse model a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of the EcoBoost, but I think in the GT versions with the wing out back, it looks really good. What do you think, Tommy?
I like it. I think that the design's more angular. It's certainly not all that different from the current one, but I just really want to know what they changed on the engines.
On the engines, well, I think on the V8s, they mentioned a dual throttle body, but they didn't tell us the horsepower earlier, but they said 480 plus on the regular GT, and then over 500 on the Dark Horse, which would make it 100 horsepower per liter more than that for a naturally aspirated engine.
Yeah, very, very well could be. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Check out Red Light Reviews. He's got a great video on the Mustang. But as always, guys, this has been Tommy with TFL Studios. We're going to go try to get a picture with the Dark Horse. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll see you in the next video.